Georgia, Sunflower, Kansas, Peach, where we talk about movies, TV, books, all kinds of stuff. You guys, we got another breaking news. We're going to be talking R. Kelly. Y'all, they trying to kill Uncle R. Yes, they're trying to do something to him, y'all. Um, this story is shocking to me. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and um, let's get into it. Again, like I said, we're going to be talking R. Kelly. I'm going to play a clip, and then we'll talk about it. Let's go.
Breaking news this morning concerning R&B singer and convicted felon R. Kelly. Take a look at this post on X, courtesy of TMZ, in which they say that R. Kelly was reportedly rushed to the hospital from an overdose of medications in prison. TMZ also releasing an article. I do want to read you some of the reports that they have already issued here, as R. Kelly, TMZ says, is doubling down on his claim that his life is in grave danger in prison, now alleging the Bureau of Prison staff at his federal center in North Carolina purposefully gave him too much medication, causing an overdose that left him hospitalized. A court filing submitted by his attorney Monday claims R. Kelly was left bedridden in a hospital after a solitary confinement staff member instructed him to take additional medication the night of June 12th. The next morning, R. Kelly allegedly awakened feeling faint and dizzy, and when he attempted to get up, he fell on the floor, crawled to the door of the cell, and lost consciousness. He was subsequently taken to Duke University Hospital, and during the ride there, he claims he heard a prison officer begrudge, quote, "This is going to open a whole new can of worms." During his 2-day stay at the hospital, Kelly says he learned he was given an amount of his prescribed medication that could have ended his life. Furthermore, Kelly claims in his Monday filing that prison staff took him off necessary blood thinner medication and is now refusing to allow him a doctor-recommended surgery to clear blood clots in his legs and lungs that are putting his life in danger. Instead, they have him locked up in solitary confinement, where Kelly has expressed to his lawyer he is convinced he will be killed or left to die. Therefore, the disgraced music mogul is asking for temporary release to home confinement for the third time, arguing his life depends on it. TMZ goes on to say that an assistant United States attorney swiftly filed a response to Kelly's request, alleging he continuously paints himself as the victim and adding, quote, "This is the behavior of an abuser and a master manipulator on display." The response also claims Kelly knowingly submitted an action to a court that has no jurisdiction over his case, accusing him of instead choosing to write to let his court know that he is cold in prison and to criticize the medical care that he is receiving in order to turn his situation into a grocery store checkout aisle tabloid. Kelly's latest filing comes just a week after his legal team sought his immediate release due to an alleged foiled murder-for-hire plot against him. His team submitted a sworn statement from another inmate who claimed authorities offered him release from prison if he murdered the singer. But just wanted to bring you that breaking news courtesy again of TMZ, that R. Kelly reportedly rushed to the hospital from an overdose of medications in prison. So we'll be sure to follow that story for you here on Live Now from Fox.
Cardiology.
Now you hear that? Did you all hear that? See, this makes me mad. This makes me mad because I feel like because of what he did, they are mistreating him, what he did and who he is. Okay? They actually said that he is trying to manipulate the situation because he's concerned about his health. The fact that he's in prison does not mean he doesn't want to live and that he doesn't want care. If the man has blood clots, shouldn't he be able to get his surgery? Now, he didn't kill anybody. He peed on them. But see, this is some of that racism mess. Because if some white man had to come up, if Harvey Weinstein them had to come up and said that same thing, they'd have been trying to figure out how to help Harvey Weinstein them. You know, this is how they treat us when it comes to medical, health, science. It has been said that there is a plot to kill him. He is sent to the hospital for an overdose of medication. He couldn't have gotten that amount of medication if someone did not give it to him. How did he get it? In the amounts that could possibly take his life. And don't get me wrong, I know that prisoners can manipulate and do all this and do all that and blah, 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 blah. But because of who he is and because of what he is as a race, these Peckerwoods are automatically assuming that he is trying to manipulate. And I'm sure he has been called nigger a million times behind closed doors. So don't be shocked because I said Peckerwood, because I'm sure the nigger word has come up, if not once, a million times. So we're not going to do that. Because this man did wrong does not mean that he doesn't want to live. I'm not condoning what R. Kelly did. If he did those things to those people, he needs to pay the price. Absolutely. But he pays the price by doing time. He doesn't pay the price by being neglected. It doesn't mean the man doesn't want to live. Rather than having the story be about someone making an attempt on his life, they turned it around to say he's trying to manipulate and become the victim. Well, you know what? He is a victim. Somebody made an attempt to take his life. Does that not make him a victim? The man was hospitalized because of the amount of drugs that the staff had given to him, which could have taken his life. Does that not make him a victim? What about the accountability for the staff for giving him that amount of drug? We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to hold the staff accountable for that. We're going to make this about R. Kelly trying to be manipulative. Are you serious? But you did a whole documentary on a white man that was trying to, because he was trans or whatever, you was worried about him, but this man has blood clots, heart problems, and he's trying to manipulate because he's trying to save his own life, though he's in prison. Y'all need to stop. It is said R. Kelly was left bedridden in a hospital after a solitary confinement staff member instructed him to take additional medications the night of June 12th. Is that not what we're supposed to be talking about? Is there is an attempt on this man's life? And then the wording of alleged overdose by the Bureau of Prisons in North Carolina. Now, I wonder if this attempt has anything to do with the Diddy case. You know, all these folks run and ran in the same circles. I'm sure R. Kelly is privy to some of the things that went on. I'll be glad when they start releasing some white names. Because it was just as many white folks there as it was black folks. But they seem to only be releasing black people's names. Other than Justin Bieber. And he's a victim, of course. But Justin Bieber has come out and said, that man ain't done nothing to me. But the narrative is steadily being pushed that he did. I think the attempt on R. Kelly's life is connected to this Diddy saga. They are trying to shut people up because there's some so-called big names that was there that participated in these freak offs. I think this is why the attempt was made on Mr. Kelly's life. I don't know why these people won't come out. Well, yeah, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I understand why, because, excuse me, as the example shows, these people's lives are in jeopardy. Mr. Kelly. Infamous singer R. Kelly is in the hospital after an alleged overdose by Bureau of Prisons staff at the Federal Center in North Carolina. Kelly said that the staff purposely gave him too much medication, causing an overdose that left him in the hospital. A court filing submitted by his attorney Bobby Brindley Monday claims R. Kelly was left bedridden in a hospital after a solitary confinement staff member instructed him to take additional medication the night of June 12th. It is also said that a staff member has said that this is going to open up a whole new can of worms, and it should. As it should. Find out what's really going on in Hollywood and shut it down. Make some changes in Hollywood because this is ridiculous. Certain people get away with certain things. When all the time, certain people have been doing it forever. And because we, certain people, try so hard to assimilate to them, we are doing the same vile, crazy things, immoral things, amoral things that they are doing to try to be accepted by them. This is crazy. I hope they find out who did this. Excuse me. I hope they find out who did this. And I think they should release um R. Kelly so that he can get the medical help that he needs. I think they should. Not because I agree with what R. Kelly did, because I don't. I definitely don't. And frankly, because I feel like, where was this child's parents at? Why isn't this child's parents being held accountable? What about the people that help him find these so-called children, find these children to do all these things? Why aren't those persons being prosecuted for this? R. Kelly and P. Diddy, they didn't do all this by themselves. They had people help them do this. There's no way, if they're doing it on the scale the people are saying they're doing it on, there is no way they did this all by themselves. That one somebody all by themselves. I think everybody that was involved need to be prosecuted. Period. I don't care who it is. That goes from the president on up to the janitors on down. If you played any part, you should be locked up right next door or in the same place that R. Kelly is. Like I said, there's no way. Not by itself. And that's not fair that this man has to spend 20, 30 years in prison by himself. When he didn't do this by himself. He didn't participate in all that by himself. I think this is a sad and terrible situation. And I think this man has the right to have health care. Blood clots are dangerous. He wants to live. And I think he has a right to. And I know some people won't like this, but he's still a human being. And he did not do anything murderous. He was just filthy and nasty. And I don't think he deserves that harsher treatment, but that is what they do to us. Please, y'all learn to get somewhere and sit down. That's all you gotta do. Stop trying to assimilate. That's all you gotta do. Like Kendrick Lamar says, they're not like us. We're not like them either. So just stop it already. Again, I hope they find out who did this to Mr. Kelly because this is crazy. Just a breaking report. Nothing too long, nothing too harsh. I'm glad that you joined me here today on GSKP. Thank you to all my peach trees and sunflower seeds. We're going to try to stay on top of this and see where it goes. Again, thank you for joining me. June 19, 2025. I am my brother's keeper. I love you. Bye.